Good evening, folks, and welcome. This is in a quick response to Jay from Jay's Vintage Junks video. He's currently restoring a little standard hi-fi Japanese record player with a BSR. I call this the Baby Monarch, with a little BSR Monarch in it, and he's done a lovely job. You can't fault him at all. Really, really nice. But it's running too fast. As soon as he put that Wombles record on, I knew. I says to my daughter, and she said as well, because she's heard that record in here, because I've got it somewhere. And as soon as it started, we knew it was too fast. And I think Jay did himself, but I think he's at a bit of a, I think he's a bit confused as to why. But guess what? So was I. But I've worked it out. This this dance set here has got the same shaded pole motor, AC shaded pole motor, that Jay has fitted into this deck. Now, this deck has a removable, it's a DC motor this, but AC versions of this deck, because I have seen an AC version of this, AC versions of this particular deck have the same shaded pole motor, but they have a brass pulley on them. There's a brass pulley like what's on this one, and the brass pulley is a slightly diameter, it's wider, it's a bigger pulley. If I pull the turntable off here, I don't know whether I'll be able to get in to see. But see, the reason why it's different, the reason why the pulley has to be different, is because the turntable diameter is different. Now, the turntable, the deck that Jay nicked the motor from, it's one of these, and this is exactly the same deck as the one that Jay cannibalised for that motor, and it's the same diameter turntable. Now, as you can see, this black turntable from the Dansette radiogram here, it's a different diameter turntable, so therefore it has a different diameter pulley, and this is a brass pulley on here, and that's what the problem is. And basically, if I was to take the pulley out, the motor out of here straight and put it into here, then this would run too fast. The reason why that is because of the diameter of the turntables. What he's actually got, he's got a mismatch of the diameter of the turntables, and that's why it's basically it's playing. Basically, it's playing too fast. It's playing as if it's a 60 hertz turntable. Now, if you plug that in America and set it to 110 volts, it'll probably be okay. But what you need to do, Jay, really, is to look for a motor, or cut the top, cut down to the 45 RPM step on that motor, and cut the 33, 16 and 45 portions of it off, pull the spring off, and then you probably have to have a pulley made. You probably have to have a pulley made for that, unless you've got one in your junk. I know I haven't got one, apart from the one that's on here. But that's what it is. It's the diameter of the pulley. I've already swapped the idlers to see if the idler makes a difference, and the idlers are exactly the same size, therefore don't make a difference, because I've swapped them. I'll obviously swap them back. But the idlers don't make a difference. It's the diameter of the turntable. Ooh, that makes a difference. It'd be nice actually for if somebody's got if he hasn't got the they actually did a version of that shady pole motor with a brass pulley on. I know that because I restored a Dansette. Major, I think it was, for a copper years ago. A guy called Tim, and his motor was burnt out. So what I did, I swapped it for what I thought would be a direct replacement. I put the pardon me. I put the motor in, and it was running too slow? Yeah, I think it was running too slow. Yeah, it was running too slow, and I couldn't understand why it was running too slow. Same motor, and then I looked at the diameter. I looked at the diameter of the pulleys, and then I noticed. So what I had to do, I had to take the rotor and pulley assembly off his motor, and put it into my motor because his motor was open circuit. I've only ever come across, do you know, in all the years I've been doing this since I was a kid, I've only ever come across two or three of those shady pole motors that have been burnt out. They're a very, very reliable motor. I mean, most of what BSR made was generally rubbish. But look, a lot of it's still here, and a lot of it still works. But it was generally it was as cheap as chips. But them shady pole motors were brilliant. Probably the best motor ever made. Certainly, you know, because you know, when you think about it, they were worked hard because they've got to spin this. You know, they've got to spin this, and they've got to spin it at a constant correct speed. You know, so they've got to be balanced and everything. A lot of work went into building those motors, and you know what they did, but to get back onto it, basically, they. If they used a smaller diameter turntable, then they would use a bigger diameter pulley in order to drive it. So that's where Jay's got his problem. Is the turntable platter itself is the wrong diameter for the pulley that he's using, and he did actually say. I think he did actually say in the video that it could be something to do with the pulley, but yeah, you are right, Jay. It is the pulley, but unfortunately you'll have to find a brass pulley of the right diameter. It's a shame actually that the pulley off that DC motor was missing, because that would have fitted. It would have gone straight on, and it would have been at the right speed, because it was made for it was basically made. It was basically made. Those brass pulleys off them motors do fit. I believe they do fit the shady pole AC motor, but you know, it deserves. I'll be perfectly honest. It's a really nice job he's done. You know, he's done all that rewiring, rebuilt that power supply. I've watched him do it. I've even had chats with him. And he's a really nice guy, and he deserves for this to work out for him. He deserves to get it right. I haven't got one, but if I had, he'd be welcome to it. The only motors I've got are actually. Have I got one? I don't know. I don't think I have. No, I haven't had. No, if I had. Yeah, the only motors I've got are Garrard. Yeah, the only motors I've got are Garrard. The Garrard won't be no good. The ones I've got wouldn't be anyway. They're all for belt drive. Well, yeah, they are. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're all for belt drive. All apart from two, which are idler. Hang on. I wonder if the pulleys off them would work. I don't know. Anyway, but I'm not sure if you can get the pulleys off. Yeah, you can. Yeah, they're actually heat fitted, the pulleys on in garage. You have to heat them up. Like the one on the Zero. It's the one on the Zero is a conical. It's like a cone shape. It's conical, so that the idler can be adjusted to move up and down slowly, so you can set the speed dead on. And to get, you have to use. Yeah, you have to use, I think it's a 4BA bolt in the top to wind it out to get the pulley off. What I normally do, on the ones you can't do that with, because not all of them you can pull off that way, not designed to come off once they're on. But the Zero is in case you want to change the pulley for a 60 Hz one. Why you'd want to do that in the UK? I suppose if you moved to America or so, you took it with you, and you were going to run it through a step down transformer. I suppose that's why they do that. They make it removable, but generally to get them off, if I need to get one off, I generally heat it up on the cooker, or well now I'd probably use my rework station, my heat gun. Probably use that. But years ago I used to heat them up on the cooker and just pull the pulley off and just heat up, because one side's brass, the other piece, one part's brass, the other part's metal. But you got to be careful because the bottom's out. The actual the rotor is aluminium, so you got to be careful that the rotor doesn't fall off as well. So I used to heat the brass up and not the steel. You used to heat the brass up and pull it off quick. But yeah, getting back to it for a minute, it's the diameter of the turntable throwing the speed out. That's what's causing the problem. It's a mismatch in turntable speed because of the motor and because of the size of the pulley. That's what's causing it. Anyway, I think I've rambled on quite enough. I hope you get some value out of this, Jay. And I did watch the video tonight. I have left a comment. Wasn't sure as to I can't remember what I put now, but basically, by getting these two record players next to each other, and given that you've used a deck that I've got in this, it's exactly the same. Which means it's the same motor. Well, I know it's the same motor. Been doing this since I was a kid. And this one here is the same deck as what you're using. Therefore, you can't get any better comparisons. I'm comparing like for like. So basically, it's the turntable itself, the platter, that's causing the mismatch. And anyway, folks, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this here. Name that tune. Yeah, you know that is, don't you? Gone with the Wind. I'll catch you later, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.